What's up, sports bettors? Happy Friday. You can see lines are on the move. Pittsburgh, it looks like, just ticked from plus 241 to plus 245 on Pinnacle, which we use as our odds jam column. Pinnacle Sportsbook, known to be the sharpest bookmaker out there. And what I'm going to be taking you through are two early bets that I've already placed for today. So I say this all the time, but I try to follow the value. I don't care if I'm betting on soccer, college football, NBA. I mean, typically I have bets on every sport, but I just want to follow the value, right? I want to find plays with an edge, and I don't really care if I'm betting on player props, if I'm betting on Barstool, if I'm betting on FanDuel. I just want to follow the value, and you never know where the value is going to be on a given day. So you shouldn't like wake up and be like, I want to bet on Alabama. As a sharp bettor, you're waking up, you're kind of using OddsJam as your Bloomberg terminal. You're following these market line movements. You can see lines are moving towards the Suns. It looks like they just moved from plus 120 to plus 115 on BetMGM. And you're saying, okay, out of these millions of odds across sportsbooks, where are those rare few betting opportunities where we can actually find an edge? Right? Like I say this all the time, but if you go to Caesar Sportsbook, you go to any of these sports books, there's 50,000 odds on their platform. They're all trying to set lines independently. They all try to do it themselves. Jazz are plus 138 on FanDuel. They're plus 123 on Casumo. Like all these bookmakers, they try to price these things independently and be unique. So what we're doing is we're looking through the market and hunting down, out of the 50,000 odds on FanDuel, 50,000 odds on Caesars, where are those 0.1, 0.2% of plays where we can actually have an edge and beat the VIG, beat the juice? So I'll take you through an example. The first play I absolutely love, and it's in Everton versus Manchester City. Okay, and you may be like, oh, this video sucks. I hate soccer. Who cares? This play is super profitable. So we're getting Man City team total over 2.5 goals at minus 140 on FanDuel. 2.92% profit margin. And again, OddsJam is really flexible. Like if you really don't want to bet on soccer, you can filter it out. Whatever sports books you use, I'm currently in Virginia. You can see them all. Different states have different sports books. And this market's dynamic, right? This bet just showed up. So you can see this game's tomorrow, 2.92% profit margin, and FanDuel's offering minus 140. Here's the odds on DraftKings, Barstool, BetOnline, and Pinnacle. So Pinnacle, sharpest bookmaker in the world, definitely for soccer, very efficient betting market. They have this minus 161. Seems pretty good. We're getting 21 cents of improvement. BetOnline, super bullish on the over. Super tight market. Both of these markets are super tight. 21 cents, 21 cents. DraftKings, you can see, is baking in 40 cents of VIG juice into their market. They're baking in 40-cent spread. Plus 130, minus 170, that's 40 cents, right? Versus BetOnline is plus 150, minus 170, 20 cents of juice. So typically these offshore sharp bookmakers have a lot less VIG or juice baked into their market. But long story short, this play, it obviously looks incredible, right? You're getting a ton of improvement to every sports book. And the way I always say that you should view your sports betting is, you treat all these sports books kind of as independent data points of where the line should be set. So Pinnacle is the sharpest bookmaker out there. They're pricing the over at minus 161. They have the under at plus 140. So if we throw that into a zero VIG odds calculator, as we can do right here, you can say, okay, if we removed that juice, the spread from their market, the fair line or the fair odds would be minus 148. So essentially, Pinnacle, their model is saying that the true odds for Man City over 2.5 team total is minus 148. So another way you can think about this is imagine there was a car dealer. Car dealer's like, yo, I'll buy your car for $10,000, and then he tries to sell it for $15,000. The car dealer, he's trying to make that spread off you. He's buying it for $10,000, flipping it for $15,000. He's, trying to make that $5K spread is he thinks your car's worth somewhere in the middle. Probably like 12.5K, maybe the midpoint. He's buying it for 10K, so he obviously thinks it's worth more than 10K, but he's selling it for 15K. That's exactly how sportsbooks make money. They're charging a spread. It's like a stockbroker. They'll be like, yo, I'll buy this stock for $5, I'll sell it for $6. Well, they think that stock is worth somewhere in the middle, probably like $5.50. So they'll buy it for $5, they'll try to sell it for $6. That's how sportsbooks work, right? They're charging a spread. That spread is just called the VIG. So Pinnacle, you can see right here, the true odds according to their model is minus 148. Bet Online has this minus 170, plus 150, so they're even more bullish on Man City over 2.5 team total, right? They have this minus 157.41 fair odds. So this play looks incredible, right? Obviously, this play looks better. Bet Online is more bullish than Pinnacle on the over, another sharp offshore sportsbook. So we're getting 30 cents of improvement from them, and they even have a tighter market than Pinnacle. So that increases our confidence that this play is good, right? The fact that FanDuel, this bet on FanDuel looks incredible to every sportsbook, not just Pinnacle, right? That increases our confidence that this play is just incredible and we have to be on it. And it is incredible, right? You can see clearly FanDuel's the side. They're asleep at the wheel, and this is a play you want to be on. Another thing that makes you really like this bet is it's an arbitrage bet. So I say this all the time, and it's rare, so I don't want to act like this is, super common, but essentially out of these 50,000 odds on Caesars and FanDuel and all these different sports books, and you can see right here, I locked in Man City, home team, over 2.5 team total, 140.05 is what I bet. And a lot of people are going to be like, why did you bet that? 140.05, such a random stake. Well, let me tell you, I would have bet a lot more, but if we go to home team over 2.5 at minus 140, you can see here, their max wager, $0. That's the max bet they're giving me, because they know I'm a sharp, sophisticated customer, they'll take my bets, but they're not going to take a $100,000 bet from me. Maybe they will from a very casual bettor who's lost a lot of money on them, but for me, you get max wager sizes. And that's kind of the reason I say this all the time. I try to be transparent on Twitter, but sports betting, it's not necessarily something you want to do full time. You can definitely make money. This play is incredible. It's incredibly profitable. But the business model of these sports books for people like me is sophisticated customers. They cut down your bet sizes. Recreational sports bettors who lose money consistently and don't know how to bet, are uneducated, they'll increase your max betting limits. So it's an unfair game because if you're beating the books, they cut down your max bet size. If you are losing to the books, they are going to let you bet more and more and more. It's actually pretty crazy if you think about it. But long story short, I hit this at minus 140. Kind of another way you can think about it. And again, I don't know if this line is going to be available by the time you place this bet. This is day trading sports. You can already see lines move, right? All these freaking lines are moving. Heat just moved from plus 165 to plus 155 on DraftKings. Lines are moving in the Jazz game. Great lines don't last forever. This play is incredibly profitable, So kind of the way I like to view this, and maybe this is just from being in the financial world, is this bet is the same. If Man City has 3 or more goals, it's a win. It's the same asset, right? But there's 5 different prices. Pinnacle is telling us it's worth 161. Bet Online is telling us it's worth 170. Barstool, 175. DraftKings, 170. FanDuel, 140. Seems like a steal deal at 140 on FanDuel. Pretty big line discrepancy. And again, I definitely recommend reading this text on the no vague fair odds calculator if you don't understand it. It's essentially just removing the spread from the market. The way bookmakers make money is by juicing their markets, right? They make you bet 170 to win back 100 on the over, but on the under, you're betting 100 to win 150. So that's a market with VIG. This is a market without VIG, when the plus number equals the minus number. It's kind of like someone being like, hey, I'll buy this stock for $5, I'll sell it for $6. That's a market with VIG. That's a market with a spread. Whereas if someone says, I'll buy this stock for $5.50, I'll sell it for, $5.50 as well, there's no spread. They're buying it for $5.50, they're selling it for $5.50. So we're using the sportsbook's odds, to figure out what their models are deeming as the fair line, the true odds with the VIG removed. And it's a lot of math and stuff, to back out your profit margin. We have tons of strategy videos if you want to go deep into it. It's not that complicated once you kind of understand it. But if you just want to bet positive EV and start making more money sports betting, just place the bet in bold with a circle around it. It really is that simple. That's what I do every morning. I wake up, I hit refresh. I'm like, what does the market have for me today? Tennis bets? Soccer bets? What do you got? And then I hit the bet in bold with a circle around it. I see what else is out there on the market. Sometimes I check the screen, whatever. But Long story short, this is the tool I use most frequently because it is a price comparison tool. It shows you out of the millions of odds across sportsbooks, where are there big pricing discrepancies? Where is there a lot of value? I don't care about the sports. It's all priced into the market. The NFL is a very efficient betting market. Millions of people are looking at it. If you're watching highlights of NFL and thinking you have an edge betting on the NFL, there's millions of people watching highlights of the NFL and betting on the NFL. Why are you smarter than them? Right? Enough to beat the VIG, beat the juice. Why are you smarter than the sports books and their $100 million, sophisticated models and all the action they're seeing in the market? It's actually kind of arrogant to think you are. The only way to beat the books is by following, right, hunting down these rare few betting opportunities on FanDuel where they're screwing up big time and we're getting insane value. You can see FanDuel's asleep at the wheel right here. It's also an arbitrage bet. Arbitrage bet means you could bet the over on one side, the under on another side, and make a risk-free profit. So it's only possible when sportsbooks have such different odds from one another, but this is one of those cases. You could bet the under, betting 100 to win 150, and you could bet the over on FanDuel, betting 140 to win back 100. This is called an arbitrage calculator, and make a risk-free profit of 1.67%. Right? So there are people who sit on OddsJam and they arbitrage bet all day long. Freaking hit arbs. People will have $500 in their FanDuel account. They'll hit this. They'll make a risk-free $14. You just paid for lunch, right? And it's a hustle game. You got to move quick. Again, this is day trading sports. You got to snipe this stuff. You got to go quick. But can you make money doing it? I mean, 100%. You can definitely make money arbitrage betting. I made a lot of money arbitrage betting when I first started sports betting. But it also means, whenever arbitrage exists, one of these plays has to be profitable, right? You can't have risk-free money in a market. It's a market inefficiency, right? You can't have risk-free money and neither of these bets be profitable. So arbitrage also indicates that, hey, FanDuel is a profitable play or BetOnline is. And the second you look at the odds, it's like, yeah, FanDuel is the one that's off. So the second play I went with, well, I actually couldn't bet this one, which is a little annoying. But I did bet, you can see right here, over 3.5 goals in this game at plus 108 for 92.60, which was just another EV play. Plus 108, no other sportsbook giving us better than minus 103. You can see Barstool even has the over favored, and we're getting plus money. This play, looking at the no vig odds, would be profitable to every sportsbook. You look at Pinnacle's market, right? Minus 103, minus 109. So if we put that in here, the no vig line, the fair odds, right? You remove the vig. So obviously, Pinnacle, they have the under favored, but very slightly, only very slightly, right? Sportsbooks reflect win probabilities through their odds. So Pinnacle's model is saying, okay, the over is 49% to occur, 49.3, and the under is 50.7% to occur. That's what these odds imply, right? So the fair line is plus 103. According to Pinnacle, we're getting plus 108. So you'll notice you're always getting better odds than the no vig odds, right? So it's essentially like you can consider no vig odds the fair price of a stock or a house, right? Or an asset, right? It's like if some stock is worth $150, you get to buy it for 140. Seems like a good deal, right? Stock is worth 150 according to everyone in the market. You take the market consensus, you remove the spread. Everyone's saying it's worth 150. You're getting it at 140. You want to buy it? I want to buy it, and that's what I bet, right? So this UCLA one looked really good. And I have this over 3.5 here, but you can see if I actually just go to this game, I don't think there are team totals in Virginia. So some states don't allow certain, college bets. I'm not sure why. Like some states allow player prop betting for college football, some don't. But long story short, same concept, right? BetOnline minus 140, Pinnacle minus 132, Sports Betting AG minus 140. Like, that's a play you want to freaking be on, 100%. And then here, over 3.5 goals, insane value. So I hit both. Slow and steady wins the race. I say this, but like, just because plays have an edge, we're up 42.8K since the start of football season. It looks like 42.8K since the start of football season and plays I've given out on YouTube. No fantasy or stuff like that. It's been a rocky road, but like that's how you make money, right? You're not every day is going to be a winner. None of these are locks. That is never a word you'll hear me say. This is just a bet with an edge. It's just a bet that's going to win long term. It's kind of like if you found a coin that was 53% to land on heads, 47% tails. Like, and someone asked me, you want to flip that coin? Let's play for $100. I'd pick heads. And I know the coin is still 47% to show up tails, and I could lose money, but like the coin is weighted in my favor, right? So essentially that's what we're doing as a sharp bettor, is we're just finding bets that are weighted in our favor, positive EV bets, and we're placing as many as we can. As you can see right here, I mean, look at this freaking account, like loading up bets for college football, soccer, NFL. I mean, we got tons of stuff in here. Finding plays with an edge, locking them in. I know some bets are going to win, some bets are going to lose, but I know I'm going to make money long term due to the law of large numbers and because my plays have an edge, right? It's like I found a weighted coin. I know I'm going to win in the long run. I know a coin that's 53% to show up on heads is still going to show up on tails, still going to show up on tails a few times in a row, but I know if you flip it a million times, large sample size, it's going to show up on heads, 53% of the time roughly. So really profitable plays we locked in. Not exciting sports, but is what it is. I'm trying to make money, and let's go get it.